What's up, YouTube? Here's Mr. Perfectionist, a trader who seeks perfection in the game of absolute uncertainty. Let's dive into some charts and see what we can cook for coming weeks for long-term plays. As you all know that Bitcoin has been in a bullish trend for more than 2 years. Meanwhile, altcoins have been fucking around by decreasing lower or ranging. Recently, we got a weakness on Bitcoin dominance, followed by a massive pump on ETH Bitcoin, signaling that the start of money flow from Bitcoin into high market cap altcoins. I know many of you feel FOMO for the Bitcoin rally and want to invest on Bitcoin, but it's definitely not the right time. Instead, you should be focusing on top altcoins with great strength. Therefore, I decided to share my higher time frame view and mark possible targets and key levels going into the end of this cycle and alt season. So you will not miss the alt season and will be focused on investing and trading altcoins. So first of all, we start from Bitcoin chart and I mark the levels and will show you how you can do it on yourself and mark your favorite altcoins. So charts like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, BNB from projects that are valid and have high market cap, you can use a very easy way and you can use the ranges like I have used here on Bitcoin USD. Like you can take the recent decrease in price from the previous cycle that Bitcoin did from this high to this low. You can take this retracement or this fall in price from the top to the lowest price and mark it as a range. Then you will have the mid range and quarter levels. You can do this similar way on Ethereum and other altcoins as well. And you can see that once you mark this, twice of this range is very essential. Because once price breaks out of this dealing range, it will go into the new dealing range, and this range becomes your new range for the new cycle and new rally. So this is the new range from this low to this high, and this is the mid, this is the quarters. As you can see, I did this marking uh, when Bitcoin broke out of this level and retested it here. So you can see how clearly the levels has worked, like this quarterly been retested as support, this quarterly level has acted as a resistance, and price has gone all the way up to this level, which was this high. So you can mark the key levels and expect how high a rally can be. Beside this, uh, I will show you how you can mark this range. So we will remove the drawings from here. You take a Fibonacci from the lowest price, not the very lowest. You can take the last lowest price. That price went from the high to the low, not this accumulation or ranging fast. So we take that low to this high, and this becomes your dealing range. So usually, if a market is in a bull season and it can break out of this dealing range, it usually goes uh, towards towards twice this range, or at least the mid range of new dealing range. And if the asset class be very strong, it can go as high as to the three times this dealing range, which will be this new dealing range, and levels on this can be your targets. So as you can see here, the first target we had for this breakout and retest was this new dealing range high around 120k, and then we have this level which is around 145k or 150k. So this is the next level of resistance and target we can aim for, and this can be the next area of value for us. So once Bitcoin breaks out of this key level, it can go up to this level, and we will see if it start consolidating here, retracing back into this key level, or it will go higher. So this dealing range and these levels can be used for future targets and key levels in case price does retracement. Beside these dealing ranges, you can also use the timeless ranges, like you can use the previous yearly candle or the previous quarterly candle and use that as a dealing range. And once price sweeps the low and closes back inside, you can target the high of that. For example, we remove this dealing range and we go to the quarterly time frame of Bitcoin. In here, you can see that every time Bitcoin did a retracement, it only swept the previous quarterly candle low, then once it closed back inside that candle, it start to rally again, like here again. So this area was fair value gaps, and here fair value gap. Here was also fair value gap. Once price swept the low, it closed inside. It becomes a failed inside bar. So the next target can be the highs of this quarterly candle high. Here again, it did sweep the low, closed back inside, and went all the way up to the highs. So this can also be used on the quarterly time frame, and you can go to the weekly time frame, and you will see it's like an accumulation, manipulation, then distribution or expansion to the upside. Very similar to AMD or power of 3 from ICT. So here's the accumulation, manipulation, then expansion. And you can use this manipulation leg to determine your targets, like 2, 2.5, and 3 are levels that you can consider as targets. Then we have 4. So this 4 and 2.5 are key levels for targets. If you can find a manipulation leg inside this power of 3 that has accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And I did mark this when Bitcoin was around 91K. Here is the screenshot that I uploaded on my Telegram channel. You can see that price was first around 91K when it broke, then it was at 95K that I shared this picture, and it did accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution, that it has almost hit this 2.5 target, and the next target can be this 4 area, -4. So this is another way to mark the ranges by using the time-based ranges. Like you can use the quarterly candle high and low as a dealing range. You can use the monthly candle, weekly candle, and also daily candle like Monday. So we are done with Bitcoin, and we know what are the next targets for Bitcoin. So these are the key levels and targets for Bitcoin. Now let's dive into the Ethereum chart. Okay, here's the Ethereum chart. Let's mark the Ethereum range, the dealing range that we discussed already. You take this high to this low of the previous cycle dump from the high to the low. So we take this one. This dealing range also has acted very well. You can see that this was the quarter of this dealing range. This was once resistance, twice, 3 times, and then it became support here. The last time price went up, this level mid-range was sometimes as a support, then resistance, then again here it was resistance, and once we closed that weekly candle above the mid-range, it rallied all the way to the quarter of this range. So currently this quarter level is acting as a resistance, and we need a weekly candle close above this level, which is around 3,900 level. And once we close a weekly candle with strength above this level, the next target can be this 5K level. And if we break the 5K, we can play this new dealing range similar to Bitcoin. So targets for Ethereum can be 7K, then 9K for the new dealing range, and we can also mark the quarters. Like one quarter can be here around 6K, and the next one can be around 8K. So these 2 quarters can also be used as a key level, And this new dealing range will be levels and targets for Ethereum. Beside that, you might also add this trend line like this, and you can see that we have already broken this trend line. We did that once in the past, but this time we need with a pump with a trend and a break above these levels on the weekly time frame. Once we did that on the retracement, you can add to your logs and we can go to this high, then to this two levels like 7k and 9k. So these are the levels that we can mark and expect for Ethereum for coming months, especially if we have alt season in the next 3 to 6 months. And if you are in my Telegram channel, you already know that I have shared this plan for Ethereum. And once we break out of this uh, level, we can expect higher prices and new dealing range for Ethereum, which will be around 9k. So anytime it went below 2k and around 2k area, it was a great opportunity to load on your spot backs. And the last time it was here that I shared this chart and said that plan is still the same. Ethereum below and around 2k is at huge discount, and I expect at least a rally twice the size of this 4 year range, which is 9k. This was the 4 year range, and twice this range becomes 9k area. Okay, now we have marked the levels for Ethereum and you already know what to expect for it. Let's go to the total tree and see what we can find on that chart. Okay, here's the total tree chart. We go to the quarterly. You can see the similar time-based range can be seen in here as well, similar to Bitcoin. Like if you use this candle as a time-based range, this quarterly candle, and when this next quarter the candle will close back inside as a failed inside bar, you could expect a rally to the highs, and it did rally. Then the next candle, this candle swept the low of this quarterly and tagged this fair value gap. Once it closed inside, you would expect a rally to this highs, and this will be your target and buyers for that asset. So we zoom into the weekly time frame. You can see that we had similar time-based range on total tree as well. Similar to Bitcoin, we had accumulation, manipulation, and now distribution and rally to these highs, which are buy side liquidity. And after staying and closing a weekly candle above this highs, we can expect expansion twice this dealing range, that if we mark it from this low to this previous cycle high, you can take this level as a new target for the new dealing range once we close a weekly candle above this high. So in here you can also see that how well the levels has acted. Like this level acted as a resistance support, then it was acting as a resistance here, then support, and this level was acting as a resistance quarterly level. Now we flipped it, it should act as a support, and we should not have any close below that, which is here. This weekly inversion fair value gap and this quarterly level. We should not see any weekly close back inside, and we should pump to this highs. Once we close a weekly candle above this high, we can expect these new targets for altcoins and can be invested on top altcoins. So this is the plan and levels for total tree. As we are done with total tree, finally we dive into Bitcoin dominance and Ethereum Bitcoin chart to see when the alt season might start and can Bitcoin dominance pump once again or no. So we go to the Bitcoin dominance chart. Interestingly enough, in here I also marked the uh, range for this Bitcoin dominance chart. I took this high to this low, and you can see that mid-range was support in here almost, and here resistance, support. Now if this goes lower, it can go to this target of 56%, and then it might go to this quarter and eventually this low. And we can play this level to level and do not expect so much like we expect a dump to this lows, but we will play it level to level. This was a weekly inversion fair value gap price tagged into the sweep the previous weekly candle or monthly candle high, then closed back inside and went to the low. So we made a market structure shift as well in here, and this level should act as a resistance for downside move. But there is also a possibility that Bitcoin dominance rallies once again to new highs, and Bitcoin on itself rallies to 150k or 40k level. Then after that, the real alt season and Bitcoin dominance dump might start, like this drawing. If I do it, price pumps to new highs and Bitcoin goes to 140k, then it starts to dump and go lower. So we can expect a new higher high, or we can see that Ethereum and other altcoins be stronger than Bitcoin, and we only take a lower high, or this goes a bit lower high to this level, then continuation to the upside. So this is the levels and the areas I'm planning to play on Bitcoin dominance. Now let's open the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. On Ethereum Bitcoin chart, you can see that we have been in a downtrend for so long, and finally after sweeping this low, this sell side liquidity, and also this equal lows here, it finally pumped and made a rally back inside this range, and now it broke structure by this pump. So these are the ranges and levels we can expect on Ethereum Bitcoin. The first level is this mid-range of this dealing range that we closed above. We might have some sort of retracement into this level, and we can expect a rally back to this level, key level. Then after sweeping this level, we will have this new dealing range. So we can expect this, or we might see a deeper retracement back into this level, into this level, then higher, into this highs, and then rally back to this range high. So Ethereum Bitcoin looks bullish, and I don't expect a new lower low on Ethereum Bitcoin, as it has already swept this low and this low, and it means that we should be focused on Ethereum and other altcoins instead of investing on Bitcoin for coming months. So this is the ranges and plan for Ethereum Bitcoin. And now we are done with this video. I hope this crypto market review be useful for your decision making. Make sure to subscribe Mr. Perfectionist YouTube channel and click on the bell button to be notified of coming videos, as I will share many altcoins chart in coming videos, and I will also upload lower time frame plays and trade opportunities. Besides that, I will teach you my entry methods and strategy. Don't forget to like this video and comment your opinions on altcoins to be covered on next videos. Have a great day. Bye.